to be more of a problem solver in this matchup, whereas sometimes with Bayonetta, you can be more of a problem player and force your opponent to decipher your puzzle.
Right. Can you deal with ABK? Solve the problem that is air ABK, right?
Exactly.
One of the best burst options in the air. But again, Snake, so durable. I mean, honestly, it just feels like Lima's going to have to play so well. And I mean, Lima has beaten other top-level Snakes, but I mean, Hurt has just been on such a tear in Japan. And it is the debut of Hurt here in North America. We got a lot of debuts here on the side of Team Japan. We got Hurt, and we have Kananabe as well.
Yeah, on that Fox side as well. But
Oh,
Lima
is that
right
it?
now, he is not quite able to take that stock. Snake's so heavy, and Hurt says, "I'm all the way up." Oh my gosh,
this one
he
will
is
do
all
it.
the way up. He's all the way up into the blast zone. What a pickup by Lima.
And I mean, Lima is spacing everything, even the Witch Twist. Sometimes you're going to have to B-reverse it as well, because when Snake pulls the grenade, it's by his hip on the backside, right? So Lima spacing out and going for a lot of these Witch Strikes, which is just a single hit of the Witch Twist, right? So there's many ways you can line that up. That time the grenade breaking through, which is what we should be seeing a little bit later on, but Lima doing a great job right now avoiding that grenade.
And again, that's the hardest thing to do in this matchup. I know for a fact that as anybody going up against a tough matchup would do the day before, right?
Right.
Lima was playing, I think, like 4 or 5 hours against like MVD and those kinds of guys in this matchup to get ready. Seems like it paid off. He got that early stock, but without that insane punish game available, right? If he's not able to get things started, yeah, it's going to be tough to catch up to Hurt, but there he is again, staying aggressive and realizing, hey, if I can stay up there, and if he gets out of Cypher at the wrong time, he might end up in the blast zone quite so suddenly.
Yeah, and the big thing here is, can you punish these high recovery? Snake loves to burn that double jump early and just go for the high Cypher, right? But if you can get the punish on that, the fair off the top, is it going to be enough? Yes, it is. Lima is doing exactly what he needs to do to punish Hurt's high recoveries.
I love how you were like, is that going to be enough? And Snake was, no! I'm sorry. I'm sorry, buddy. It is. You're taking a trip into the blast zone.
I'm sorry, Snake. I mean,
I'm sorry, man.
you've gotten out of a lot of situations, all right, Snake? But I don't know about this one.
I don't know how to get out of these combos. Colonel, where's the B button?
Yeah, the B button's so powerful here for Snake. And on top of that, the weight, but Lima, the weight doesn't even seem like to be a factor here.
You know, I was just considering this as I was making that joke. There's the one Lima SD per set. It is...
Get it out of the way early,
It is a necessary thing. It will happen every time. It's been a thing since Smash 4, so don't panic if you're a Lima fan. Although if you are, you already knew that was a thing, so what's there to panic about? Love the attempt at the Witch time, but Hurt was in the shield regardless, not going to get stuck out by it. Down air, breaking out of the Cypher early. What I was going to bring up earlier was say that Hurt can't really rely on the grenade pull at the top when he's about to be in the blast zone to break out of those combos, because he could just end up blast zoning himself.
If you're that high up, especially around the area that Fair is going to get the KO, yeah, absolutely, it's going to be tough. And Lima can also grab the grenades, run up to Snake, and then go for the Witch time. The back air is not going to be enough. That is the classic confirmed there for Bayonetta. But so high in the air, tries to get the ABK to scoop Hurt's legs here. Going to use the Witch time to get out. Tries to get the reset, but Hurt jump with the quick B-reverse grenade.
And Lima used forward tilt 1, and then remember that's not a move, so he stopped trying to combo Hurt. Now, Hurt going back into the corner, trying to get something out to knock Bayonetta up into the air. He doesn't really have any reliable confirms available at this point yet, but up tilt is getting so close to taking it.
Hurt's baiting out so much of these Witch Time, just throwing the grenade in the opposite direction, and that's going to be it. And you can see why this matchup's so tough. Lima was up an entire stock, plus the SD. That's gotta hurt so much.
You saw the smile on Lima's face afterwards. That was the smile of a very high-level player realizing, oh, I just made a play that I definitely deserve to get punished for. Like,
yeah.
ABK out of the corner, yeah, it's burst movement, but I mean, Hurt was so far that you weren't really going to surprise him with anything. And in fact, he was ready for it, detonated that C4, and it's not like he hadn't shown Lima that that was an option that he was going to go for, to try to use that C4 to call out at that timing. And again, you know, you see Lima's expression and he goes, yeah, no, I got outplayed there. Like, I definitely shouldn't have done that.
Yeah, it's tough. And I mean, that's the reason why, I mean, that last stock is what usually, like, quote-unquote, usually happens in the matchup, right? Lima was still able to get some high early KOs off the top with the punishes on the high recovery. So we need to see more of that. But when you don't get those, Snake sitting at 150, 160, 170 even, maybe even higher, right? You're just trying to get that back air. And all Snake has to do is get that up tilt around like 70%, and that's a wrap.
Yeah.
So it's just so tough because Lima's going to be put in positions where you're dealing with max rage Snake, and how Lima is going to disarm that situation and make those situations not happen as often is going to be the key to victory here.
Literally disarming. Like, he's spending this entire time trying to find the blue wire or the red wire and then figuring out which wire to cut to try to defuse those grenades. I mean, like you're saying, yeah, it's a great way to put it, but fact of the matter is, Hurt is up 1-0, so Lima is going to have to fight extra hard. The currently South Carolinian Lima, if I'm not mistaken, one of the Carolinas that he's out at for college now.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, I know some people were confused.
No, Texas.
I was talking about it earlier that you know, he was playing against Peanut and they play all the time, and they were like, "What? No, Lima's from Texas." No, Lima's up there for college now, very as of recently.
Okay.
So that's currently where he calls home, and if he's not careful, the Blast Zone will also be his home for the foreseeable future.
Yeah, already at 126%, and I mean, you might have caught her off guard, but a lot of these witch times not do. And Lima, you know, one of those players that when you compare Lima to someone like Bloom, Lima will go for some of the bigger swings, right? Like going for some of these smash attacks or going for some of these riskier witch times. And because of that, Hurt catching on and really baiting out a lot of these witch times. Hurt hasn't really gotten punished too hard from witch time to set yet.
Man, I mean, it really has only been when Hurt has had to like go off stage, go for those high recoveries and stuff like that, where Lima has really been chasing him. So Hurt's kind of changed up the game plan from, okay, like I feel invincible, Bayonetta can't really hit me, to, oh, okay, actually what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of stay more grounded, stick around these platforms, and just try to maintain control of the game where Lima can't open me up at all.
And these back airs coming out from Hurt, I mean, just such a great hitbox that's really meaty here. Tries to go for the fair chain, but again, that frame one out. Quickest moves in the game are frame one.
Yeah, that is as
no
fast
frame
as
zero
it gets.
option.
That would be crazy. Comes out before you even think to press the button.
I guess that's auto turnaround.
That's dynamic controls in Street Fighter. Like the game plays it for you.
Oh, there's a witch strike into the nair. That's going to be enough, lining up those single hits and Lima being well aware of them.
Yeah, definitely noticing those moments where, okay, like my character is not going to function perfectly. They probably fall out of my combo. But if he does pull that grenade, I don't throw out the biggest hitbox. And like you're talking about, a single hit is going to do perfectly fine in that situation.
Oh, yeah. And even the single hit, you can get even better conversions off the single hit. You just have to be ready for them. And Lima, you know, well aware of the ways to set up single hits. So looks very aware here. Tries to get the reset into the grab here. There's the ABK, the nair not going to go into Hurt. Hurt going, DIing down and getting underneath.
Ooh, grenade. Man, the double grenade setup right there, they're both right on top of each other. That really just means Bayonetta's not getting burst movement for the next like 3 or so seconds because she just cannot occupy that space.
The no ABK signs are up.
Yeah.
Oh,
no fly zone. Oh, wait, never
Off
mind. It's a fly zone for sure. He killed with fair too. Like that was not even the final hit.
Didn't even finish the whole Rekka.
you got wrecked. It wasn't Rekka. It was just wrecked.
Oh, not going to go into the fair there. Tries to get the dash up witch twist. Tries to get the forward smash on the Cypher. Tries to set up these edge guard situations. And I'll give it up to Lima. You have to find these scenarios where you can sneak in these early KOs against Snake. Doing it the old-fashioned way is not going to be fun, and this is going to be hard. You need to get past the C4. Okay, there's the directional air dodge.
I don't know if you saw it earlier. Hurt tried to bait out the early C4 detonation by just crouching.
Yeah.
And then seeing if Lima would try to take the bait, go right back to the ledge without snapping. But he is able to take the game. I mean, just build up such an early lead, such a large lead that even with Lima finding a couple of early stocks, it took such a grind to get there that, you know, Hurt just built up a ton of damage, gets that 2-0 lead, and Lima just says, hey, run it back. I don't think the stage is going to make a difference here. In fact, if anything, it's helping for the blast zones to be closer so I can get those early KOs. But if anything, you just have to play really good in this matchup to win it.
Yeah, again, one of, if not the toughest matchup here for Bayonetta. But honestly, the way Lima has been playing, you might not think it just because Lima has such a profound plan against this character. And, I mean, has taken her down to last stock every time and, you know, should have won game one. There was an SD on game one at very early percents. So very unfortunate, but now, because of that, Lima has to get the reverse 3-0 to go ahead and move on to winner's side.
That is going to be, as we said, like a mountain to climb. You know, you can call me biased if you want, you know, because Lima's one of my best friends and everything, but the fact that he makes this matchup look doable when he does stuff like that is impressive. And yeah, Lima, like I said, we already got the one SD out of the way, so no need to worry. It's already been cashed in. But yeah, able to take the lead. This is what I want to see now. How is Lima going to play with the lead, especially now that he's gotten the opportunity to see how Hurt plays? Because he had it in game 1, was able to play with the lead, but didn't really know how Hurt was going to try to approach that situation. Now that Lima has some of that data, I'm interested to see if he's going to be able to maintain this lead that he has worked so hard to build.
Wow, I mean, landing going into a spot dodge maybe, but Lima has even done normal get up into Witch, the bats within. Oh, not going to get hit by up tilt. Another thing to mention as well, characters with really good crouches or crawls are also amazing against Bayonetta. And Snake has one of the best crawls in the game as well. So
I might say the best, yeah.
Yeah, so many things stacking up against Bayonetta. And especially if you have tilt stick, you can from crouch just go straight into up tilt.
Yeah, and
so
I mean, the difference in heights there, right? Like, imagine if Kirby just had, like, I don't know, Sephiroth's up tilt. Like, it's not that extreme, but it's, like, close.
Man, Hurt now taking a lot of damage. And like you said, Lima, we're seeing the strategy with the lead come into play right now, right? Lima usually kind of playing from behind. Aside from that first game, which, you know, after the SD was kind of evening up. But now, as long as Snake is on the same stock, I don't think Bayo really has the lead in this matchup unless you have a stock.
Right, yeah, because otherwise the percentage is going to build up, like it or not. You can't play passively, especially when you're down, you know, down to even stock scenarios, because yeah, Snake's going to build up that damage and put you in situations like this where if you're not careful, if you fall into one bad read, then, I mean, it's like you're saying, Charles, look at this, game's already right back to even, and Lima, his lead is evaporated.
Yeah, and Snake dash attack, Hurt is dash attacking right now because that is such a good option here for Snake. We've seen a lot of anti-air options coming through, and then Snake also low, like, goes into a crouch after the dash attack, so it can be kind of hard for characters to punish it out of shield. I mean, if Hurt's close enough, you know, obviously Lima's going to have the access to the up B out of shield, but the up tilt into the backer right at the edge, that was perfect for Lima.
Yeah, literally, and not even the not even the sweet spot, right? The sour spot was enough to do it because he set up that situation, like you said, perfectly right at the ledge where you want it and able to maneuver around that Nikita. Look, if you were training against MVD, you know how to get around Nikita.
Okay, and
never mind. Okay, commentator's curse. That's my bad. That's my bad. I'll admit it.
versus Nikita. Which one wins? Oh, there's the witch time, but the buffered roll coming out from Hurt to avoid the grab there. Down to the final stock, even though Lima had such a crazy lead. Again, just really goes to show how tough this matchup can be. And Hurt, even though behind in so many situations, able to claw his way back.
And now we'll see Lima not able to continue combos where he normally would. I mean, Snake is at a higher percent, but those are the kinds of setups that against most other characters, in fact, I think pretty much every other character is going to take them to, you know, 80, 90% pretty much for free. It's not that Lima's dropping these combos, it's just that he can't continue them because Hurt is able to break out. But hold on a second, trying to drift out with that Nair. It's not going to be enough to take it, but 108 on Snake. Up tilt back here near the ledge. This is about where we saw it take it last time.
Incredible DI on the second ABK. The fact that Lima wasn't able to follow up with the Nair, that Nair would have done it that close to the blast zone here. Now Hurt with another chance. Again, that dash attack. Forward throw is not going to be it, but it's going to set up a really good situation. Actually goes for the grab release to go for the high.
I thought that back air killed Lima for a second.
Yeah, I was like,
I was like, I'm just going to make sure that's not a star KO animation. Oh, but it is a KO animation here. Hurt landing that back air, catching Lima on that high recovery, and does pop off indeed. Even for a 3-0, Lima is going to make you work for it, and Hurt absolutely had to. Nonetheless, though, moves on 3-0, getting into top 32 winner side.
Yeah, amazing stuff from Hurt. I mean, again, we already noted that this was going to be it was a tough draw for Lima, and there's a lot of fantastic Bayo players that have been doing so well. Lima, definitely the highest seeded Bayonetta player. We'll see what Lima can do in the loser side of things. Hopefully not going to run into any snakes down there as well, but Hurt going to move on winner side. And man, that game 1 was so painful. Even that game 3 felt like Lima should have won, but Hurt, and again, incredible defense because Lima was able to find really early KOs, and the DI on the second ABK on that game 3 was so crazy on the left side. We might be able to see it here, but Lima able to get the KO on Snake a good amount of times, under 100%. Very impressive.
Yeah, I think that, again, it just goes to show, like, you can see the blueprints, right? Like, if this is your first time watching Lima and you don't know how good he is normally, like, you can see that he's able to land those conversions and that he's able to craft a game plan and everything. But, I mean, Hurt just knows that the matchup is good. He played to that strength, and he played it really, really well, and now gets to move on, again, into top 32 winner's side as a North American debut, right? Gets to show the world exactly what that's all about.
very impressive. I mean, first time traveling out to North America, right? And there's so many things that you have to deal with as a player that's taking a long flight. Obviously, Japan to West Coast is not as bad as Japan to East Coast.
Right.
So it's a little bit of grace there, but still quite the long flight. I mean, probably over, I would assume over 10 hours.
You're going over
like
the Pacific Ocean.
Yeah,
like
I heard it's pretty large.
Yeah, it's pretty